False DNA results moments on paternity court.
Whoa! I knew it!
You got the results back?
I got the results back. It was 99.9 that I wasn't the father.
Why you been lying to me that they're my kids when they're not?
You were right. I cheated with your
What?
friend.
That ain't nothing new. Oh, word?
They couldn't find him to get his DNA.
I love you.
DNA tests may be the last hope of ending the paternity feud, but in this first case, things sort of got trickier after one. And today, this 26-year-old is in court to put an end to the confusion.
Ms. Lyde, you say that for 26 years you have known only one man, the defendant, Mr. Ellis, to be your biological father. And you're devastated that he is claiming you're not his.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ellis, you say that you are not Ms. Lyde's biological father. You are here to prove that in court and to clear your name.
Yes, Your Honor.
So the judge began the trial by asking Miss Lyde about her relationship with the man she refers to as her father.
How was your relationship with Mr. Ellis growing up?
I didn't really have a relationship with Mr. Ellis growing up. It was just me and my mom. I've been in and out of group homes, foster homes. No male role model in my life. It's been hard. I had a long, hard life growing up.
Though Mr. Ellis sympathized with the girl standing at the podium, he was sure that she was not his daughter.
How does that make you feel?
I feel for her and all. I'm not her father. I mean, her mother, she disappears weeks at a time out there partying. Look bright as she is. I mean, I ain't no doctor or nothing, but I'm pretty sure two people this color ain't gonna make no baby this bright-skinned.
I don't feel like that's correct because my son was white with black hair and blue eyes. I'm not white. I don't have blue eyes.
Listening to this, the reality TV judge asked the man about his relationship with Miss Lyde's mother.
You were in a relationship with her mother.
Yes, I was.
And it was a sexual relationship.
Yes, it was.
However, what you're saying is her mother also was having sex and intimate relationships with other men during that time.
Yes, Your Honor.
And what proof do you have of that? Do you recall?
The only proof I have is by her disappearing weeks at a time, Your Honor. That's why I called the court, so she can really find her true father and quit blaming it on me.
Next, in the back and forth between the plaintiff and the defendant, the prior DNA test was mentioned.
My mom has never lied to me. I'm not.
But when I was
believe
away,
it.
your mother took child support on me. They did the DNA test. I gave her the papers. They garnished my check.
Mr. Ellis,
is there any
explain that.
records?
You had a DNA test already.
Yes.
Explain.
When I was away, her mother called child support on me. They came and took the DNA test.
You got the results
I
back?
got the results back. It was 99.9 that I wasn't the father.
Oh, that is a good reason to not believe that someone is not your child.
I showed her the paperwork.
So
she
wouldn't you
want to hear.
99.9% that you were not
Yes, it was something
the
like
father?
something like that. Yes, Your Honor.
So wouldn't you want to keep some kind of information or record so if I did grow up and I had questions, you
No,
could
I
say,
would not.
hey,
I would not want to
here
keep that
goes
kind
the
of
proof.
information.
But on the contrary, Miss Lyde told the court otherwise.
Ms. Lyde, was there a DNA test performed?
DNA test got one from her, juvenile court, but they never showed to court
So
juvenile.
the bottom line is a DNA test was performed, yes or no?
They say in the court 99% yes.
That 99.9% that yes, he was Danielle's biological father.
Yes, that's
Thank you so much.
Wow, that's perplexing, isn't it? So the judge tried to make sense of the story in her own way.
Mr. Ellis, you say it said the exact opposite.
Yes, it did, Your Honor. And I took those same papers to child support, and they said I have to pay child support.
Ms. Lyde, growing up, you don't know anything about that.
No, Your Honor.
Were you told as a child that this man was your father, but he does not acknowledge you or he does not want anything to do with you?
Yes.
That's what you were told.
Yes.
But now, it was time to end the long mystery.
Mr. Ellis, you are the father.
Whoa!
I knew it.
Boom!
Yeah, girl, give me know it, baby.
Never, ever.
I love you. I love you, nigga, for a long time, man.
Miss Lopez is in court today because she believes her ex-boyfriend cheated on a DNA test in order to avoid paternal responsibilities.
Ms. Lopez, you are here today because you claim the defendant, Mr. Carbajal, allegedly perpetuated a DNA testing scam to try to deny paternity of your kids.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Carbajal, you say that you did not perpetrate a DNA testing scam and are here today to prove it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right in the beginning, Judge Lake was concerned about the previous DNA, and why was there doubt in the first place?
You meet each other
Yeah.
Yes.
because I'm trying to figure out why was there ever doubt in the first place.
Well, I met her through social network. She told me, hey, come see me, you know, for the weekend or just one night. So I went to go see her. And that day that I went to go see her, basically had sex that first night.
It was
Boom.
not that first
Yes,
night.
it was.
No,
Yes, it
no,
was
it
the
wasn't.
first night. Yes,
No.
it was.
Mr. Carbajal believed that Miss Lopez was trying to pin children on him for the sake of money.
She's doing this because she wants our money. She knows my
I don't
family.
care
She
about
She
money,
knows my
okay?
family has money, and she knows I don't work.
I don't care
I
about
don't
money,
work,
Your Honor.
right?
Growing up, I did not have a father, and I did not want my daughter growing up without a father.
Following that claim, Miss Lopez explained to the court how Mr. Carbajal had the DNA test performed without her permission.
He did a paternity test that he bought from the store. I did not know about it until he gave me the results that came back.
And the alleged baby daddy agreed to that testimony.
My mom bought it off the counter. They came with swabbing things, you know?
Okay, so it came with all of the utensils,
Yes,
everything
and
you
then
needed.
paperwork, and then we did the swabbing. I swabbed my lips. I swabbed the kids' lips.
Which
all we gotta do is
kids?
swabbing, or just put the name of the father.
You write that name
Yeah.
in.
Sheesh, that is a very wrong way to end confusion.
My daughter's name is spelled wrong.
It was the
I
kids.
do not know if
it was the kids.
kids.
My mom was there. She knew what she was
I
doing.
was
Writing their
there,
names
buddy.
on there?
You think my mom
You
was gonna
guys
spend
were
money
there,
on
I
that?
wasn't there.
No.
Hold
Yeah.
on 1 second. Does anyone have proof of these names? And
Yes, I do.
Jerome, can you hand me that?
So the baby mama was not ready to believe the previous DNA verdict and wanted another run at the testing.
Ms. Lopez, you're saying that this test is fraudulent.
Yes, I was not there to witness it. I was just there to get the result. They did it without me knowing.
So now we've administered a new test because the bottom line is I can't accept the results of that home test.
So let's get to the bottom of the truth, shall we?
When it comes to 2-year-old Aliana Lopez Carbajal, Mr. Carbajal, you are not her father. Let's go to the next result. It pertains to 1-year-old Noah Lopez Carbajal. Mr. Carbajal, you are not
Thank
father.
you, Your Honor. Why you been lying to me that they're my kids when they're not?
This baby daddy wants a DNA test to prove the infidelity of his girlfriend.
Mr. Watson, you are in court to prove that you are not the biological father of the defendant's 4-year-old son, Kevin. You say that Ms. Mahoney was having sexual relationships with 2 different men.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Mahoney, you say you are 99.9% sure that Mr. Watson is the father and deny his accusations of infidelity. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So it was another classic case of trust issues leading to paternity doubt.
Mr. Watson, you are rejecting the child?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm not the dad. That's why. When I was away, when I came back, she was cheating, and she has a bad reputation of being. She had 2 men staying with her, and they were showering her with gifts and taking care of her. Now, me as a man personally, I'm not gonna do that for no woman.
Being a man, though, you should have left me.
Miss Mahoney, on the other hand, explained to the court how her bad reputation developed and how it was completely false.
Miss Mahoney, did you have 2 men living with you?
Yes, ma'am.
You
I had
did?
no job. I had nothing to fend for myself. They were close family friends, and they just wanted to help
No,
me
they weren't.
help them. I agreed to let them stay, and if I needed some toilet paper down, anything, they would help provide it.
And so were you providing them with anything besides a
room,
place to stay?
a bedroom. That was it.
The sobbing mother even told the court how her son had already been tested for DNA.
You took a DNA test?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened?
I went and was on government assistance and child support. We had to comply with them. And they asked me who the father was. I told them who he was, and he ran from all the things. And finally, they found him and had him go out there and take the DNA.
And the DNA test said Mr. Watson was the father.
What did the DNA test say?
99.9%.
That Mr. Watson was Kevin's biological
Yes,
father.
ma'am. The state put him on that birth certificate.
Did you bring that test result with you?
No, I didn't.
Mr. Watson, why don't you believe those results?
I even posted it on Facebook.
But Mr. Watson had yet another bomb to drop.
What happened?
I went and was on government assistance and child we had to apply with them. And they asked me who the father was. I told them who he was, and he ran from all the things. And finally, they found him and had him go up there and take the DNA.
What did the DNA
I even posted it on Facebook.
Because first of all, Your Honor, her friend forwarded papers. She walked up showing me these papers. First of all, I didn't see no.
Yeah, that time frame also shocked the paternity judge.
It took 7 to 8 months.
They couldn't find him to get his DNA, and they already.
So you believe she forged these results?
Yes, ma'am.
Even the judge pointed out that DNA tests don't take that long at all.
And we were told that it takes about 2 weeks to 1 month. So, Ms. Mahoney, why would it take 7 months to get these results?
I don't know why, and we were together and they showed up.
If you're confident, why wouldn't you take a sealed envelope to Mr. Watson?
In Miss Mahoney's defense, she never thought that she would even have to go through something like this.
In our life, I never expected him to think of me that low,
I
to
would
do
never
that.
do
That's
that,
low
but-
of a person.
So you never thought he would question paternity?
Ever of their documented government papers.
When your friend's forging papers, what do you want me to do?
My friend, she forged DNA documents. It's just, I want to get this done and I want the results in our family to be happy.
Listening to that judge gave the young mom the result she was asking for.
Results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Watson versus Mahoney, when it comes to 4-year-old Kevin Watson, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Watson, you are the father.
I love you so much.
Mr. Hamilton has come to paternity court for both DNA and lie detecting tests.
Mr. Hamilton, you have petitioned the court for a lie detector test on Ms. Lombardi, as well as DNA testing regarding her baby daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say it is your belief that the defendant was unfaithful to you around the time of conception.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're asking the court to administer these tests to help you prove it once and for all.
Yes, Your Honor.
However, Miss Lombardi believed that her husband was just blind enough to not see the truth.
You argue that Mr. Hamilton is simply blinded by jealousy, paranoia.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you say previously went behind your back and had your other 3 children tested
Your
for
Honor.
paternity
Yes.
without your knowledge. Today you're asking the court to rule against DNA testing for your daughter because you say it's not necessary.
That's right, Your Honor.
But the husband at the podium begged to differ.
History, reality. Like you stated, tested behind her back that she admitted to cheating with the first. So the other 2, it was like, wow, there go the question right there. And with the baby in your question right now.
Mr. Hamilton confessed to the court that he had cheated throughout, but his reaction to his wife was uncalled for.
You say he's done his dirt.
Yes.
Have you
I'll
ever
admit
cheated
I
on?
done some dirt.
You
That
did
was a
just
long time ago.
You just admitted that in court. I got that.
May
well,
I?
this would be the time. Yes.
You were right.
About what?
I cheated with your
What?
friend.
That ain't nothing new. Oh, word?
So now, listening to that, it became evident that a paternity test was necessary.
Yes, ma'am.
You're here to prove that a paternity test is necessary.
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't think it
And
is.
also to prove she's a liar.
After this, Miss Lombardi showed the birth certificate that her husband had signed.
Sign the birth certificate. I approve. He didn't sign any of our other 3 children's birth
Yeah, because you're a liar.
Sign Janae's, but yet he's denying her.
Like a fool, Your Honor. And
Tell
you know
me.
what? I didn't sign it.
Jerome, could you please hand this?
Okay, you running court now too?
No, please. I want you to see that he's.
All right,
But he did not sign our other 3
All
children.
right, so
I'll admit, you're not
this is
gonna
what,
commit
Miss Lombardi?
perjury.
That is
I
Janae's
signed
birth
the birth
certificate.
certificate.
Yes, but he's denying her.
But as we know, a birth certificate proves nothing. So, let's get down to business with DNA.
In the case of Hamilton versus Lombardi, pertaining to whether Mr. William Hamilton is the biological father of 5-month-old Janae, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Hamilton,
Yes, ma'am.
you are her father.
Oh my God, I knew it! I told you!
Miss Hanger's baby daddy here is already paying child support, but now he's looking for a way out.
Ms. Hanger, you claim the defendant has already been placed on child support for your daughter Chloe, and therefore there is no reason to administer a paternity test.
Yes, Your Honor.
You've dragged him to court, order he pay the support he has been neglecting.
However, this eccentric young man is in for a legal brawl, as right at the beginning of the trial, he does not put up with anything the plaintiff has to say.
Just because you frame her up there and put her next to my family, that's not actually a DNA test. You know what I mean? That's not actually.
Okay, you'll get it. Don't worry
so,
about it.
Mr. Babbitt, you say you're certain you're not.
All actuality, I mean, like, no, I don't believe it.
You're blind, dude. You're blind. That's
a medical professional at all giving me the opinion that you were pregnant would have been good too. But I mean, like.
And so wait a minute.
Next, the judge brought up the child support question.
How did you end up on child support?
Oh, I defaulted, I suppose, as they say, because I didn't get served. They dropped papers off on my porch, on my grandmother's porch.
No, I've seen the paperwork from them. It's Jane Doe signed it, but that legally states that you received this paperwork.
Or did you say that dropping the paperwork off, not talking anything?
No, they showed me the paperwork of somebody signing it.
Okay, so there was no coincidence that after you showed up on my porch.
I asked them.
So the newspapers drooped and held this news.
That there is a paternity thing for a DNA test for whatever, and I couldn't get any information.
I had wrote him previously and told him, hey, it's coming up, you need to show up there, because it was a court-ordered one.
There was an attempt to notify you, and you did get the paperwork that said, show up for a DNA test as it relates to baby
I've also
Chloe.
seen paperwork saying I want a free iPod. That doesn't mean it's true.
All right, you can be a smart mouth. You the one on child support. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, big-mouthed guy. But still, Lake did her best to take his testimony seriously.
So this is paperwork, shows that you are supposed to pay $272.50 per month in child support.
I actually never got the paper. Here's the paperwork that I got. It was to my restaurant. It says you're supposed to be paying child support for Chloe Hanger. Didn't give a social security number. On the birthday panel.
They're not going to give you her social security
Why,
number.
if I'm the father?
I want to understand how a grown man gets paperwork from a court that he doesn't honor.
After listening to that nonsense, the judge concluded things like this.
So the bottom line is you just decided to disregard
and wait
the paperwork,
for the actual something.
And now you are responsible for child support.
They gave him 30 days after he did not show up for this DNA test. They gave him 30 days to appeal it, and he never did.
Did I look confused about that?
No, you look confused, period. And you look like you got a smart mouth, and you think you know too much, but what you should have known was to bring your butt to court.
Oh my gosh. For the man who's fooling around and is stuck in child support, he should never bother the judge like this.
You can get smart with me if you want to. You're gonna lose every day. I'll give you a minute to get yourself together, because you're not gonna clown. Because it's a baby whose father's in question of trying to understand your position.
We're not getting...
Now hold on. Do not question what I think you look like. I'm here to ask questions. You're here to answer them. I'm here to give you the answers to the questions you have as it relates to paternity.
However, the alleged baby daddy had reason to doubt the paternity.
Mr. Babbitt, do you think at the time she was sleeping with you was also sleeping with someone else?
Yeah, the other roommate, because he was super jealous when I first showed up.
He was sleeping with her.
He made a comment about how when she gets mad, walked around looking like a bulldog. You know what I mean? And then the other thing was talking about the size of her female anatomy.
There was an identifiable piece of her anatomy, and it was described when you had a sexual relationship with her. That description was confirmed, and so you felt to yourself, they probably have been
right, probably.
To clear up the roommate affair thing, the court had ordered a lie detector test.
You have sexual intercourse with your roommate after March 2013. You said no. The lie detector indicated deception.
That can't be, no, something's not right with this. I swear on everything. I did not touch my roommate. That is on my daughter. That is on my family. So I did not. It was in August, and he was drunk, and we didn't even finish.
So, that news calls for a DNA test.
In the case of Hanger versus Babbitt, when it comes to 17-month-old Chloe Hanger, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Royce Babbitt, you are her father.
Luke, I guess.